Hey guys, just hanging out here. Yep, just doing the whole lazy Friday thing. Might get the gecko on board here. Might stream the fish too. Welcome to anyone who shows up. Hopefully someone will show up for more than a few seconds. Oh, hello. I'm not sure who was there, but hello. Well, I'm just being lazy today. Trying to decide what to watch. I'm just gonna stream some TV. And was that a blip in my connection? I hope not. Streaming. Watching TV on my phone. And streaming what I'm doing might take more battery more internet power than I have. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think I will watch one of the educational shows I've been following on Netflix. Docu-series I like.
We live in a very
I
weird
have
world.
no idea if it's audible.
And the more we discover about our planet, the stranger it gets. Every day, new stories reach us. Stories that surprise us. What is that? Shock us. Sometimes even scare us. Oh my God! We've scoured the globe to bring you the most curious creatures, the most extraordinary people.
I can stick almost anything to my skin without no glue.
And the most bizarre behavior. Using eyewitness accounts and expert opinion to explore a weird world of unexplained underwater blobs, flying goats, and glow-in-the-dark fish. We examine the evidence, test the theories, to work out what on earth is going on.
I love the skip intro button. I don't know if anyone else. I'm sure other people do, but you know.
Might fly. Uncover hidden messages in ancient cave art, and find out why albatross chicks are being planted in flower pots. But first, let's meet some of the world's weirdest weaponized wonders.
This is what I thought it was. Yes, it is.
Bondi Beach, Australia. People come here to surf, to sunbathe, and to be seen. But in April 2015, this seaside sanctuary was to become the scene of a coastal crisis.
So I ended up having trouble breathing, and I started to get chest pains. I've never felt anything like that before.
Okay, she's in Australia. She has trouble breathing, chest pains. The obvious answer is jellyfish. But, of course, since this is a show about weird stuff, it's not going to be about jellyfish. It's not going to be a jellyfish.
Surf lifesaver Rosie Italiano was taking part in the weekly biathlon.
I did my first leg of the swim, and all was normal, all was perfectly fine.
But as she raced towards the finish line, something was waiting beneath the waves.
I felt an initial sting on my chest, but I went to get it out of my costume, and nothing was there.
Yeah, that sure sounds like toxic. She swam through some toxic algae or something. I don't know, but does toxic algae work that fast? that was my first thought watching this the first time, at least. This is the second time I've watched this particular episode. So, yeah, this is my second time watching this episode. My first thought was she swam through a toxic algae bloom. But I was wrong.
It was very frightening.
But despite the excruciating pain, she struggled on.
So it wasn't until I got home that the symptoms began worsening, and I began to get chest pain, the rash began developing, and I had trouble breathing.
In minutes, Rosie was gasping for air. She was rushed to hospital. Thankfully, the doctors stabilized her condition. But what had stung her? What was this aquatic assailant? Well, in Australian waters, there's no shortage of potential culprits. On the sea floor, anemones and sea urchins cling to rocks, some armed with a paralyzing neurotoxin. Hiding in the sands lurks the world's most dangerous fish, the stonefish. Spines laden with a potent mix of toxins that could kill a human within an hour. Scuttling along the sea floor, the blue-ringed octopus is one of the most dangerous animals in the ocean. Its venom over 1,000 times more deadly than cyanide. And sea snakes regularly come to the water's surface, the scene of this crime. But could their fangs really have punctured through Rosie's costume? Well, Rosie had a theory of her own.
Originally, I thought it was just a blue bottle, but there were no warnings that day of any stingers in the ocean.
These infamous jellies, the Portuguese man o' war, or blue bottles as they're known in Australia, can float in shoals of up to 1,000, causing carnage when they come close to the shore. Responsible for more recorded stings than any other species, they inflict painful streaks when their tentacles, sometimes up to 50 meters long, wrap themselves around unsuspecting swimmers. But for Rosie, the evidence just didn't stack up.
With a blue bottle sting, the rash usually is a welt size with white appearance. But with this, it was a very dotty red rash, quite different from the blue bottle.
So, with all the usual suspects ruled out, the source of Rosie's sting was still a mystery. But about the same time, some very strange videos had started surfacing on the internet. Yes, just 2 months earlier, this bizarre creature was washed up on the beach just a few hundred kilometers to the north. And this one had been found near Brisbane.
Well, I'm gonna have to fast forward through this a bit, I think.
Asking the same question.
Make out of them.
There we go.
So we are looking, and they almost look like they're alien organisms. Somebody proposed that they were insects. Somebody else proposed that they were juvenile sharks. And it wasn't until much more recently that people realized that they were mollusks and they were sea slugs.
Yes, these tiny animals are blue sea dragons.
Nudibranchs are absolutely gorgeous, by the way, if you ever have a chance to see them in person. Yeah.
They come from a truly bizarre family of brightly coloured marine gastropods. Most of them live on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, if you ever have a chance to see a nudibranch other than a sea hare, you should really, you should jump at it because they are absolutely gorgeous animals. I mean, they're like these little slugs, but they are more colorful than your average butterfly. More colorful and frilly than your average butterfly, but they're little slugs. And it's so cool. It's like the coolest thing ever. But, you know, the ones you'll find most often in a lab look kind of like turds.
Grazing on anything from corals to anemones and even other sea slugs. But the blue sea dragon dines on something entirely different.
Blue sea dragons feed primarily on the Portuguese man of war, which is one of the most venomous organisms in the water. What they can do is they can steal that defensive mechanism that the man of war has and utilize them for their own defense.
The blue sea dragon lives at the ocean's surface, which puts it...
Wait, it just now occurred to me that he's basically saying their farts are toxic because they digest these little slugs digest the tentacles of the toxic jellyfish and then excrete them when they're disturbed. So, yeah, toxic farts. Yeah.
At the scene of the crime, and it has the right weapon too. You see, it does something few other animals would dare. It eats its fill of the fearsome man of war, but instead of getting stung, it does something incredible. It absorbs the paralyzing stinging cells, the nematocyst, and concentrates the toxin. Then it uses it for its own defenses, making it a very dangerous delicacy for any predator, or of course, anyone who gets in the way.
When people encounter blue sea dragons, they're going to be finding them on the beach typically. By then, the animals are probably no longer venomous. Now, if people were to encounter blue sea dragons in the open ocean, that would be a different story because that's where the animals are basically charged, and I would be very careful not to test them.
To activate its deadly defense, the blue sea dragon squeezes its muscles, pushing out the stolen stinging cells, which detonate, shocking a predator or an unsuspecting swimmer.
Okay, more like pee.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that something so small and beautiful could cause so much pain.
More like toxic pee.
So the blue sea dragon isn't born venomous. it steals its weapon. Then it was just a case of wrong place, wrong time for Rosie. Mystery solved. Now, from one excruciating event to another, with an even more unusual origin. Papua New Guinea. Vast swathes of virgin rainforest unexplored by Western science, where hundreds of weird and
Oh, is
wonderful
this
new
the one with
species
the
are discovered
suicide
every year.
plant or the
Back
toxic
in the summer of
bird?
1989, nothing could have prepared a young ornithology
Oh,
student
toxic
for
bird.
what he was about to find.
And these birds have this amazing behavior where all the males get.
Gotta fast
But
forward a
little did he
little.
know, he was about.
When you catch a lot of other birds, as you're taking them out of the net, they can easily scratch your hands. And so after I let them go, I had all these scratches on my hands, and I just licked my cuts and ran to the next net.
What happened next was truly, well, shocking.
My mouth began to sort of tingle and burn, and I
See,
would
this
kind of
is
describe the sensation as similar.
this is apparently one of the many scientific discoveries made by people, by scientists being dumb and licking things they shouldn't. Yeah. Sometimes, there was that one meme that went around, can you lick the science? And in zoology, the science usually licks you, but I would have to say that this is more of a geology situation where sometimes it happens, where sometimes it's dangerous to lick the science. And sometimes you kind of have to. To stop random bleeding. But sometimes it's dangerous.
To putting your tongue on a 9-volt battery.
So what on earth had caused Jack such pain?
I didn't know what I had brushed up against. There are lots of poisonous plants and other things. You've got mosquito repellent all over your hands, so any number of things could have caused this.
After a few days, Jack just forgot about it all. That was until another researcher reported the same symptoms.
And I thought about it, and the only thing that my story and his story had in common was these black and rufous brown birds, about the size of a jay, with a very sharp bill and very sharp claws.
So what was this mystery bird? Jack suddenly found himself fascinated not by these, but by these instead. The Peterhui, a relatively drab and boring bird that for years had been ignored in favour of its more glitzy cousins. But could the plain old Peterhui be harbouring a secret? Could Jack have discovered the world's first poisonous bird?
We went back the next year, and the first Peterhui that we caught, I said, oh yeah, I'm going to do this test. And so I plucked a feather and popped it on my tongue, and my mouth began to tingle and burn. And I was like, wow, it's the bird that's doing this.
To prove it, Jack needed evidence.
As soon as you realize that a bird is poisonous, the first question you want to ask is, what is the toxin? What is the chemical that makes it poisonous?
Jack brought back specimens to his lab for testing, and the results were truly bizarre. See, these birds weren't just carrying an annoying irritant or a mildly potent poison. This was something off the charts.
It's a steroidal alkaloid neurotoxin. It targets the sodium channels in our nerve and muscle membranes and shuts them off. But in higher doses, it can actually cause paralysis and convulsions, and it can stop your heart and kill you. And it turns out that gram for gram, it's one of the most toxic natural substances known.
more toxic than curare or strychnine. So just how had this bird become poisonous? Well, there are plenty of other poisonous creatures out there, but only one of them was known to contain the same batracha toxin, the poison dart frog, found
I
more than
think I need to
15,000
get the gecko
kilometers away
involved in
Colombia,
this.
where its secretions are used to paralyze and kill itself.
Yeah, I know. Horrible pajamas.
Does a bird in Papua New Guinea come to be carrying the same poison as a frog in Colombia? Jack suspected it came from their diet.
Gecko, wanna watch TV?
We didn't know how the birds were actually getting toxic. It's a really
Wanna
hard
watch
thing to figure
TV?
out because they feed on lots of small fruits and berries. They feed on a huge variety of insects. They also feed on small vertebrates like frogs.
Nope, that is not a
So, any number of these things could have provided them with the toxin. For 2 long years, Jack's research seemed to have hit a dead end until help came from a very unlikely source. So the real breakthrough came when we went back to a little village called Harawana, and Avid Waka, who was our host, said, "Oh, it's so exciting to see you guys because while you were away, we figured out where the pedigree gets its toxin." And he'd actually made a collection of about 44 beetles, and each one was meticulously labeled with the collector's name, the locality, and the date. And this wasn't something that we had asked him to do. It was something that he had watched us, and how we take data. And he said, "Oh, this is what they're going to want to know." We were able to send some of them back to the National Institutes of Health, and they verified that, yes, these things are full of batracha toxins. Each beetle contains only a low-level dose, but just like the dart frog, the pitahui bioaccumulates its poison from its diet. But why do they need such a serious self-defense? Of course, the jungles are a dangerous place, and the poison not only protects the pitahui from hawks, eagles, and numerous kinds of snake, it also acts as a natural insect repellent, warding off avian malaria. And the benefits don't stop there. The pitahui is so poisonous.
Guys, look at this tube of gecko.
Quite literally.
Look at this guy.
Just holding the bird in your hand, you get enough toxin on your fingers that if you rub your eye or your mouth, it'll cause tingling and burning. So we expected when
Look at this guy.
Nest, that it probably imparts enough toxin to the nest and the eggs or the young nestlings that if a snake came up and tongue flipped it or even ate one of the babies, it would probably have a bad enough experience that it would leave the other baby alone. Amazingly, since Jack's first discovery, several more species of poisonous birds have been identified. The pitahui will always be the first.
Want help? Gonna help watch TV?
From discovering one of nature's secret forms of self-defense, let's move on to harnessing one that's been known for millennia. Kenya. Vast grasslands filled with beautiful wildlife. But here, on the fringe of Tsavo National Park, it's not all a peaceful coexistence.
They destroy vegetables, houses, water pipes. They throw stones, sharp objects, spears, arrows, occasionally guns. They set their dogs on them.
But these aren't rival villages clashing. This is something on a different scale entirely.
We've had people in our community with the roofs of their house ripped off while they're sleeping inside.
It's a battle over territory. As population growth pushes people ever deeper into the savannah, farms are becoming battlegrounds. And in May 2008, one raid in Laikipia was devastating.
The elephant came and they had destroyed the whole thing.
My God,
But last night, but one,
Yeah.
there were 14. 14 elephants.
So they just come,
Nasty.
any reaction at all, they'll all put their heads up, ears out. There's a lot of aggression. So this is incredibly intimidating for a farmer living in a simple mud hut that even you and I could push down with our hands.
He's decided to be a necklace, I guess.
For the farmers, the stakes couldn't be higher.
So if they
Are you
lose their
gonna poop
crop,
on me or
they
something?
have serious
Yep, I
stress.
think
What are
you
they going to
are.
feed their kids? How are they going to pay the
Or
school
not.
fees? How are they going to maintain their
Later.
farm for the next season?
Yes.
So this is a big challenge for them.
The problem is,
Hey,
the
it's
world's
easier to
largest
wash
land mammal
myself than
isn't
to wash
just
my
big,
bed,
it's
silly boy.
smart too.
It's very difficult to find a solution which elephants don't habituate to, because even over electric fences, they can work out how to push their foot against it and push it over.
Look
They
at
can get
this
through.
guy. Look at this
The
adorable
farmers' old
little
methods,
thing.
well, they just weren't working. They needed a weapon, something the elephants would be terrified of. One of these, perhaps. I mean, who doesn't know that elephants are scared of mice? But it isn't actually the mouse itself that frightens them. All that comes from a legend that dates back to Roman times when Pliny the Elder first described elephants as being scared of mice. And it is a great story. Popular cultures have reinforced it ever since. But the evidence is quite fear when they see a mouse. But this has more to do with the element of surprise than fear of the mouse itself. Any other animal scuttling around at its feet would cause the same reaction. And of course, there's another.
Why are you so cute, little guy?
Protect the villagers' farms.
Why are you so cute? Now he's staring at the computer. Huh? You gonna help? Are you gonna help?
Hold back an army of elephants. She had to think smaller, much smaller.
Amazingly, when we started talking to local farmers, these stories all started to come out. We had farmers saying, oh yes, of course, elephants won't touch that tree with a beehive in. And oh yes, I saw a hive being disturbed by an elephant and it chased the elephants away. And oh yes, I've seen an elephant with stings around the eyes.
Of course, they're talking African bees there.
2 centimeters thick, scared of a bee that weighs just 1/10 of a gram.
They're talking African bees there, and African bees are apparently a lot scarier than European or American bees. What? What do you want, little dude?
Surely not.
You don't want to
This
watch
was a
TV.
legend that Lucy needed to see to believe.
So we came up with this idea of taking the sound of bees when they've been really disturbed and playing that bee sound back to elephants. And as they responded, we saw these incredible behaviors. They started head shaking, dusting, fanning their ears, and they would pick up their tails and run from the sound.
So the legend was true. But how could Lucy
he found a snuggle spot
of this unlikely ally? Well, by placing hives around the perimeter of the farms, she could create a beehive defense system. And by linking each small hive with a wire, any elephant trying to cross the boundary line would cause the fence to swing and the angry bees to swarm. Genius.
Bees can sting around the eyes and the trunk, up the mouth. And as we know now about African bees, if they sting once, they release this pheromone that triggers the other bees to come and attack. So I don't think they're scared of one bee. I think they're scared of a whole colony coming to get them.
And with temperatures rarely dropping below 15 degrees, even at night, the bees can continue to fly, providing 24-hour protection. Lucy's insect army have stopped over 80% of the elephant raiders in their tracks. What a success.
We found out that our farmers actually have a better improved life through having these beehive fences because they can sleep more at night time, which means they can work more in the daytime, which means they're putting more effort into their farms. So now we've got a queue of people wanting beehive fences.
And there have been some unexpected benefits too.
It's not just the stopping the elephants, but it's the honey, it's the pollination services, and it's that sense of ownership by the farmer that they're doing something for themselves now to try and reduce human-elephant conflict.
You want your tube?
Age-old
No.
legends inspiring modern-day solutions. What a story.
So,
From the
elephants?
beautiful blue sea dragon to the world's way coming up. Saving species takes a turn.
Elephants are afraid of bees. Who knew? Who knew? Oh, hey, little dude. Hey. No? No? You just want to sit there? You comfy? You find a good comfy spot? Oh, okay, little dude. Okay.
For the weird. From a bizarre beaver delivery method to an albatross living on the brink of disaster.
Okay, little dude. Okay.
But for our first stop, we're winging our way to the USA.
Can you let the internet people see you? Yeah. Because you're
The Rocky
really,
Mountains,
really cute.
Utah, home to a unique species, Oreamnos americanus, the American mountain goat, one of the world's best climbers, known for their abilities to scale incredible peaks and pick their way along dangerous precipices. But in
Oh, well, of course you
2015,
like my
these
wrist.
adrenaline junkies
It's
took their
warm and it
extreme
has a
lifestyle
heartbeat.
one step further. Yes, they're flying. But why? Well, in Willard Peak, the
Oh, you're
population
watching
has
the
grown out of
fishy
control
now.
and is
Okay.
overgrazing this fragile habitat.
So in Utah, we don't really have any natural predators for mountain goats. So if the number of mountain goats gets too high on Willard Peak, we could start seeing them
Watching the
causing
fishy?
damage to the surrounding vegetation. So we're trying to be proactive by taking goats off of there before they get too numerous and too dense.
Kent needed to find a way to bring the numbers down, and with populations struggling in other areas, relocating them was the perfect solution. But first, he had to catch them. Something that's easier said than done. Mountain goats are 130 kilograms of pure muscle. And they're
You
not
may
just
not have
powerful,
the hair.
they're
No,
nimble
it'll
too,
tangle your
able
feet
to
and you
jump
get
over
ouched.
3.5 meters in a single
No,
bound.
your feet get tangled and you go ouch, ouch, ouch. Yes.
So Kent's
It'll
solution?
tangle those little
A crack
feetsies.
team of relocation
Tangle those little
experts,
feetsies and
an
ouch them.
aerial A team,
Mhm.
armed with high-powered pneumatic net guns.
Yeah.
But even with these high-tech solutions, success isn't
Why are you so
guaranteed.
cute?
So mountain goats live in very
Look at
steep,
him.
cliffy
Why
areas.
is he so
and
cute?
It's very
Huh?
difficult to catch them because if you were
Because
to
he has
shoot a
big
net on them
eyes and a
in the
big
middle of a cliff,
head
they would
and a
likely
perma
tumble down
smirk.
and likely injure themselves or possibly
Built-in
be killed.
smile.
And so it's very important to make sure you
Yeah,
use the helicopter
funny
and you gently
feet.
push them into a relatively flat area where you can successfully put a net on them and they won't tumble down the side of the
Tongue.
mountain.
Cute tongue.
Bullseye.
Nope, that's why geckos are cute.
Now it's all about speed and keeping stress to a minimum.
So to limit the stress on the animals, we put a
And
blindfold on
he
them so that
has
they
no
can't see,
sense
but
of
we take away that
shame.
visual sensation. It calms the animals down a lot and helps.
And he has no sense of shame with showing off his man parts and rubbing them on me and all sorts of stuff like that.
Maximize the reproductive potential of the new population 100 kilometers to the south.
When you look 10, 20 years into the future, it's a great feeling.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a flying goat. Obviously the best way to redistribute this important population. But Kent isn't the first to try this kind of extreme animal relocation. Flying animals into new homes isn't anything new. Just ask Idaho's beavers.
10 boxes to a load, 20 beaver, ready for the flight to Mountain Meadow.
Yes, back in the 1950s, the Idaho authorities wanted to save themselves the cost of building a dam. So they decided to enlist beavers to do it for them, and they parachuted them in. It's a bit of a bumpy landing.
And a most unusual and novel trip ends for Mr. Beaver.
Look, he's okay, he's out, he's living. From flying goats and parachuting beavers to a different kind of rescue mission entirely. 700 kilometers from the coast of New Zealand is a strange volcanic island, the Pyramid. The most important place on the planet for an entire species. The Chatham Albatross.
The Chatham Island albatross is only found in the Chathams, and there even it only breeds on one small rock stack. It literally is a pile of rocks coming out of the sea.
But the species is under attack. Its very survival is in doubt. Unlike the other albatross species, the threat isn't from commercial fishing, nor is it disease, or a rampaging rogue predator. No, the problem for the
Oh,
Chatham
he actually
albatross
is watching the show. It's at
One of the biggest threats to Chatham albatross
TV's,
is climate change.
I've got the phone right here, and he's in his line of sight. He is actually staring at the phone. Probably, he prefers BBC. He prefers British narrators and actors. I don't know. I guess
The Chathams
because
in the
they
rural
remind him
Maldives
of
are
David
lashed by
Attenborough.
southwest storms all the time. So the islands and the species are adapted to that, but when the storms come from an easterly direction, that's what causes the havoc.
So the albatross's island home is under threat from increasingly unpredictable and severe weather. But what can be done to save them? Well, surely the obvious solution would be to move the entire population. But the thing is, albatross have an incredible homing instinct. After spending years at sea, they'll make their way right back to the pyramid, returning to the very nest they grew up on. A perfectly designed mound of insulating mud and vegetation, home to the chicks for their first 5 months. So how do you undo thousands of years of evolution? Well, Mike and his team had a plan. In January 2014, they set about saving the Chatham albatross, moving them to a new safe island 50 kilometers to the north. And for the plan to work, they had to target the chicks. The adult's natural compass was too well ingrained. The pyramid would always be their home.
99.9% of seabirds will come back to the island they were raised from. So we're taking these chicks and trying to establish a new colony.
They chose only the healthiest youngsters, the ones old enough to cope with the separation from their parents, but young enough to accept a new island.
We're basically hoping that we can reprogram their GPS so that they'll fly back to the main island rather than the pyramid.
But the plan hinged on persuading the chicks to accept their new home. Mike needed to perfectly copy the colony, and most importantly, the nests. And his solution? Well, it was beautifully basic.
For an albatross chick, its nest is its castle. Its parents know to come back to that nest, that's where it's find its chick, and that's where it'll be fed. So it's ingrained in these chicks to stay on their nest until they leave. So we had to find something to replicate that nest.
And who would have thought a flower pot was the ideal replacement? Filled with rocks and peat, it provided not only a comfy seat, but fantastic drainage too. But making the ultimate albatross nursery didn't stop there. Mike needed to make the chicks feel safe, so he's provided plastic bodyguards.
They're adorable, by the way, those floofs.
Enlisted the help of the local
Floofy
community
birds.
to become surrogate parents, delivering daily meals, and he's even playing food music on hidden speakers. And if he's successful, for the first time, the Chatham albatross won't have all of its eggs in one basket. With 2 colonies on 2 islands, Mike hopes the species will survive, no matter what climate change throws at it.
This project's going to have several different measures of success. I mean, the first one will be when the first birds return and breed. So for us, it'll be when we've got a core of birds that are starting to breed, and then that's starting to grow to be a new colony. But our overall aim is to try and future-proof Chatham Island albatross in a changing world.
It'll be at least 3 more years before they know if they've been successful. So it's all fingers crossed that the first of this new generation of Chatham albatross will return to their safe new home. So, from flying goats and falling beavers to albatross in flower pots, moving to a new home.
Albatross, that has such a nice cadence to it. Albatross in flower pots. Such a nice cadence to it. That needs to be in... That sounds like it belongs in some sort of slam poetry. Or, sounds like it should be it should be in slam poetry or something. Or a song or something. Or maybe a band name. It just has such nice cadence to it.
Finally, bizarre messages hidden in prehistoric art. But first, some strange signs hidden in the trees.
Oh, this is a good one. See, I've seen this episode before, and it has a bunch of weird but really cool stuff. And he's watching TV. He's watching again. Little dude, you like this episode?
I was at the back of the group that day because I got caught in some thorns. So when I caught up, the group had stopped and we were gathered around these markings on a tree, which the main field guide had found. They looked really innocuous. I mean, it would be impossible to tell what they were.
Okay.
We weren't sure if they were wild pigs or if they were human created or if they were cows.
What they'd found was utterly baffling. Strange on the tree, and below them, large piles of rocks, seemingly placed there deliberately. Laura set up camera traps to see who or what had made them. 2 weeks later,
What do you think made him, little dude? Huh? What do you think made him,
What we
sweetie?
saw was really incredible. It was a male chimpanzee arriving at the site, pausing, looking around, and picking up quite a large stone, flinging it at the
Looks
tree.
like a fun
We
game.
didn't know what it could mean. We didn't know how common it was. We didn't know if it was just a once-off event.
Okay, so this behaviour might not sound that extraordinary to you or me. The scientists were completely baffled.
That looks like fun.
Just why were the chimpanzees doing it?
They're throwing rocks at a tree.
Anybody that's been to the zoo knows that chimpanzees can throw stones. I mean, that's not new. The really new and interesting thing is that they come back to the same site with the same repeated behavior and only at certain specific locations.
Oh. Yes, their special rock throwing
As her
spot.
cameras gathered
What do
more
you think,
footage,
huh?
Laura realised
Your
this
special
wasn't
rock
an
throwing
isolated case.
spot.
This was a real phenomenon.
What we were seeing was something that had never been seen before in chimpanzees. It seems like a new level of tool use. It was astounding.
So what on earth were humans' closest relatives doing? Laura quickly ruled out the most obvious answer. Unlike other examples of tool use, termite fishing, cracking nuts, and making spears, this behavior wasn't connected to finding food.
So we checked the area. There was no fruit trees that it could be affecting or any different food stores that it could be related to. And it really is quite sure that it's nothing to do with gaining food.
Could it have been a male status display, an aggressive show of dominance that sometimes involves throwing stones? No, it wasn't, because it wasn't just males doing this. Teenagers and even mothers with babies had been captured by the camera traps. So what could inspire this ritualized act of chimpanzee vandalism? Laura developed two main theories.
So chimpanzees live in close-knit groups and they defend a territory. And so there's other groups around their boundaries. So maybe these symbolic of chimpanzees' territory that they protect.
Theory 1. It's possible that the rock piles are territorial markers, a way for the chimps to declare their space in the forest. But it's theory 2 that Laura feels is most likely.
Chimpanzees during the day, they'll split off into subgroups, but they'll often communicate with things like calls and drumming and doing a loud pant hoot.
And it was this call, the pant hoot, that was Laura's most convincing clue.
It's generally thought of as a long distance call. It kind of starts out like often when you see a chimp doing this, if you can really study the community, you see that other individuals will actually change direction.
Yep, he is actually watching the show.
And so
Yes.
possibly this add on
Just sitting there staring at it.
So this strange behavior could be some sort of territorial marking. It could be some form of communication. Then, some truly extraordinary evidence came to light. Researchers across Western
It's
Africa
not a
started to
game.
look out for telltale notches on the trees.
Ooh.
3 of the 4 subspecies reported nothing. But sites in neighbouring Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, and the Ivory Coast reported positive sightings. These groups either pass the ritual to each other, or they've developed this behaviour entirely independently. So, it wasn't an isolated incident. It was occurring in a massive area. And as interest grew, one more bizarre theory surfaced.
They seem to be responding to something in the space that we can't see. There's something in that space that they're returning to that is fascinating to them, that has a hold over them. Is there a memory that they have attached to that particular spot, like the death of a member of their clan or a leader of their clan? Or was there some other anomaly at that site, like a lightning strike or a fire or a particular storm that they witnessed together? We might never have an answer to the question of why a particular space seems to have become charged, seems to have become electrified for these chimpanzees. But similarly, we don't necessarily have good answers as to why it is that our sacred spaces have become charged or electrified for us.
Is he saying it's chimpanzee church?
Now,
Yes,
identifying
crazy.
these chimpanzee sacred spaces might seem a little crackpot. But when you think back to our own past and how human beliefs reefs were formed. It's not really as crazy as it sounds.
If we go back to the beginning of human beings as a species, which is generally believed to be
It's
about
kind of a
50,000
weird
years ago, we would be seeing a range of behaviors
thing to
that look
think
very similar to
about.
this.
Oh.
The religions that we have now would be the descendants of these amalgamations of early human behaviors that would have looked like these animal rituals.
Perhaps we'll never fully understand why these chimpanzees engage in such bizarre behavior. But for Laura, this discovery is just the beginning.
I do think that we constantly underestimate other species. And so I think it's worth wondering what this could mean in potentially a higher sense. And I think the real thing that we should take from this is how important it is to protect the future of these chimpanzees, because I'm sure there's a lot more to discover that we haven't yet seen.
So from mysterious notches on a tree, a great mystery was born. But we really shouldn't worry. I mean, Planet of the Apes isn't around the corner. Well, not quite yet anyway. So, from chimpanzee rituals that tell us about the beginnings of something totally alien. Barrier in the Egyptian Sahara. And at 4:30, a startling discovery. Thousands of cave paintings. 8,000 years old. One of the most important
Trying to decide if I
prehistoric
should
sites
watch
ever
something
discovered.
else.
The big question everybody's asking about this cave is, what the heck are these animals? These big animals. The beast, what is it?
Whilst most were fascinated by the strange images of headless creatures, one archaeologist was drawn to something else. Something everyone had overlooked.
When I arrived on the site, I did not believe my eyes. I immediately noticed the tiny stencil hands. There were 13 of them, and I thought, wow, it's really different from any stencil hand I've seen before in my career.
Prehistoric handprints have been found in cave art sites across the world. They're one of the first examples of mankind developing a sense of self-awareness. But the ones Emmanuel had found were truly bizarre. They weren't just handprints. Inside each of the 13 larger prints was a strange second, smaller one. All of the experts had assumed that they were children's hands, but Emmanuel wasn't so sure.
We did some measurements on dozens of preterm newborns, and even if they were matching in terms of hand length, the proportions were really different.
With a probability of less than 0.01%, Emmanuel proved that humans hadn't made these handprints. But who or what had?
My first hypothesis was it could be monkeys' hands, and for that time, 8,000 years ago, imagine that people have taken monkeys onto their shoulders and stenciled their hands. It was really crazy to imagine it.
Crazy maybe, but impossible? Certainly not. But no matter which monkey she tested, she just couldn't get the thumb in the right place. Emmanuel was at a loss, but there were some other theories out there she couldn't ignore entirely.
Our first publication was about telling it's not true, but we didn't find yet the solution. So after that, I got plenty of emails telling me, would you investigate the alien path? And I thought, but how can I measure aliens?
But Emmanuel wasn't quite ready to give up on a more terrestrial answer.
We did a lot of measurements on the hands of crocodiles, and the match was quite good, but it was not 100% convincing.
After nearly 10 years, her search had become an obsession.
At this point, we had investigated the human path, the monkey path, the crocodile path, and no one was really matching. I have to confess, it began to haunt my dreams.
Determined to find an answer, she scoured the records and discovered one animal, no longer found in the area, that would have once walked the dunes here.
This desert monitor lizard have lived here 8,000 years ago. I contacted a lot of crocodile farms and I realized they were also keeping a lot of monitor lizards. So I asked to them if they would enjoy to take part in the study, and to my surprise, they were all very enthusiastic.
Hunted for centuries by humans for their skins, these throwbacks to the time of dinosaurs were in the right place at the right time. But could they be the source of the non-human handprints?
When I got the final result, I couldn't believe my eyes. We got the closest match with lizards, and they are actually matching with more than 85%.
But one vital question remains. Why were they using these lizard feet in the first place?
We have no evidence of a reptile worship, but the fact that those hands are stenciled exactly as the human ones are done, it does testify of a really different relationship to nature than the one we have today.
Personally, I think it was just because it looked funny. Like, ha! These things have hands that look like ours. Yet they look, but they look so different from us. But their hands look like ours. Ha ha ha! I think it's one of those comic relief things. I mean, we've been we found things that look like animals that have we have features in common with, amusing for millennia. Probably part of the reason why geckos are so popular. They have big eyes like a baby, and they have a built-in smile, and they have the goofy tongue. Some species have hands that look kind of like ours, the separate fingers. Yeah, something that has a feature in common with either humans in general or human infants. Yeah. The geckos have the big eyes and the big head like an infant. And they have the smile like the humans. And they stick out their tongues in a silly way. And they lick everything. Like babies put everything in their mouths. But basically, if something has any remotely anthropomorphic traits and has has something that makes us think, oh, baby. Has something that makes us think of babies. I mean, why are you so cute? Yes, I know why. Yeah, I have a scientific explanation for why you're so cute. Ah, you are such a manipulative little guy. You're cute and you know it. He's cute and he knows it. Mm. Mm. If he poops on me, all I do is, I gag for a bit and then say, I love you too, basically. Hey, no, nope, not allowed back there. Oh, that's a butt. Hmm? Look what I found. I found your big tube. Found your tube. Want your tube? No? Maybe? I'd feel less guilty about putting you away if you voluntarily went in the tube. No? It looks like a definite maybe. Looks like he's giving me a definite maybe. Hmm? Are you trying to poop on me? No, he's grabbing my hair now. Look at that little prehensile tail. Aww. Hi, you want your tube? No? Look at that prehensile tail you got there. Oh, you gotta jump on my face. I'll jump on my face. Yes, I know. You're gonna jump on my face. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I can tell. You just want to jump on my face. Hi. Hi. Still calculating that jump? Hmm? Hmm? My arm is getting tired. Can you hurry up and calculate your jump? Hmm? Can you hurry up and calculate the jump? Yeah, maybe. Hmm. Oh, really? Okay, he went for the boobs, not the face. He usually goes for the face. He usually goes for my face. Oh. The boobs are where you nap. Face is where you jump. Silly. At least normally. Normally, the boobs are a nap spot. Jump on the face and climb on the face, and yep, see? Told ya. Told ya. Doesn't he look so proud of himself? Yeah, that's my hair. That's my hair. You may not have my hair. It'll tangle your little footsies. Yes. Your feet aren't working quite right. Are you sheddy? No, your feet aren't quite as sticky as normal. You're getting sheddy? Go shed? Mm. You can see some of his spots at this angle, see? Why did you have to jump like that, silly boy? Huh? You can see some of his spots. See? One under that ear. Got a few on his forehead. Uh-huh. See that dark yellow one. Pale yellow one. There's a splotch on his side. Goodness. Yes, you have lots of spots on you. No contrast spots, though. Yeah. Yeah, there's low contrast spots, so you don't look like you have a pattern. Until they look close. There's a spot on your side. A white one. And there's another spot on your tail. You have all sorts of little tan spots. You only have one normal black spot that is on your tail. Yes, most spotty cresties have black spots, but all your spots are brown and yellow and white, and they're very light. Yes, brown and yellow and white spots. Yes, hello. Why do you have to be so ridiculously cute, huh? Huh? Makes you very good at manipulating me, huh? But you deserve all the spoiling, yes. Yes, you deserve all the spoiling, little dude. Because you have quite possibly saved my life a few times. Yes. Quite possibly saved my life a few times. Good gecko. You are a very good gecko, and you deserve all the spoiling and all the treats and all the attention. Yes. No, it still surprises me every time. The whole Mama Sad must fix with cuteness, where he notices something's wrong and starts getting really cute, sometimes squeaking, sometimes hanging from his ceiling, just looking at me really loudly. Just working really hard to get my attention and like, hey, you're not humaning right. There's something wrong with the human. I need to fix her with my cute gek powers. And of course I immediately fawn over him and start, sort of bittersweet crying. So there's the positive reinforcement there. So yeah. We've mutually got each other trained that way, I guess. Sort of a mutual training thing. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. It's sort of a mutual training. Yes. Yeah. And then Scaly No Hand Brother got really worried about me when I fell. Uh-huh. And that was very sweet of him. Yes. At one time I fell a few feet away from his room, his enclosure. And it was very sweet and adorable how worried he got. Yeah. Say. Yeah. Oh. Look at his tongue. Oh my goodness, look at kissies. Look at kissies. Yeah. Your tube? No? Nah, you know if I get you in your tube, you have to go back in your room, don't you? Mm. 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 No, that's my hair. That's not for exploring. No, it's not for you to explore. Mm-mm. You may not explore the hair. No exploring the hair. Hmm. I am tired. What are you thinking about, little dude, huh? Huh? Yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to decide. Oh, hey. Well, I should probably get you back in your room. Oh, I know it's pouring in there. But I'm feeling kind of tired. And, well, if I don't pay careful attention to you, you could get, well, you could end up on one of those scary adventures like Scaly Hand Brother went on. Yeah, and he's sort of he's stuck being smaller than he should be because of his adventure. You know, because he got lost on his he decided to go on an adventure, got lost. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put you back in your room. Okay. And I'm gonna lay down for a bit, probably. Hey. Yeah, you found a good plant to hang out on? Yes, okay. So I can have my hand back. Thank you. Oh, looks like a good plant to poop on, maybe? Hmm? So, I don't get any poop presents today. That's okay, though. I don't want any poop presents today. Hmm. Hmm. Not my best pajamas here, but they do. They'll do. For just general pajama purposes. Hmm. Trying to decide what else I should do here. It's chilly. Trying to decide whether to add another blanket. Actually got this one here covering my pillows and a few miscellaneous items. Hmm. Got a few miscellaneous items over there that I've got covered up with that one. If you're wondering about the white noise there, it's the new fish tank filter. I should let the fish on at some point here. Oh, I should put the fish on at some point here. Something smells really, really good. Oh, I think my mom's cooking, baking. She can't cook worth anything, but she can bake. Most people can do either or. She's one who can bake. She's not very good at cooking. Mm. Mm. My mom was telling me a funny story the other day that when she told my aunt about my attempts to, get successful on YouTube, etc., my aunt told her, "Oh well, my daughter-in-law is talks about me on her a lot on her overseas um on her overseas streaming, and people apparently love that." But yeah, my cousin married a woman from a country where mother-in-law stories are even more popular. than in the U.S. And my aunt says she did watch it, though it was nothing unflattering. It was just, amusing anecdotes. And all. It was just amusing anecdotes about visiting the mother-in-law. And yeah, I told my mom, oh yeah, mother-in-law anecdotes are very popular in a lot of overseas areas. And then that started me thinking, yeah. There are certain parts of the world where I am considered far more attractive than in others. So, are there, ways to just target live streams there for ESL students? That makes me wonder. Yeah. Live stream, target that area. Just capitalize on it. Because I have I speak relatively unaccented American English. But so, one of those, if I could figure out one of those ESL streaming services. I can just talk. The amount of emotional labor in a live stream is a lot less than for a conversation. Quite frankly, I rarely is not the right word, but I don't have enough emotional energy for conversation every day. As lonely as I am, conversation can be extremely overwhelming. So, I'm just thinking I should. Well, there are a few things I could totally capitalize on. But again, there's so much emotional labor involved in pretty much all of it. And a lot of the crap is, emotional exhaustion that I have to deal with. But I'm sure people were, fascinated about life in America. I've actually gotten several marriage proposals through the DMs on Instagram, but basically they didn't want a wife, they wanted a green card. Well, they wanted a green card and sex. So it's like, yeah, there are plenty of better places to immigrate. If you're, brown, there are plenty of better places to immigrate. Yeah, I have. Oh, let me Google it. I think I have. Well, my skin can tan, but it usually burns if I don't build up the tan slowly. Well, yeah, I have Fitzpatrick 2 skin, which is which sometimes tans, but usually burns. More likely to burn than tan, but yeah, apparently everything, when you first find stuff about the Fitzpatrick 2 skin tone, I don't know, some dermatologist came up with the skin classification both based on tone and how your skin responds to UV. And apparently, I don't know. Apparently, apparently it's more common with lighter hair. But in this slide, my hair looks medium brown, but the base color is very dark brown. It just has a lot of dimension to it. Uh, yeah. I'm just thinking, trying to do the. Just trying to figure out whether it's unusual to have this combination of skin tone and hair color, now that I think about it. now that I think about it. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I can't find what I'm. But yeah. Anyway. I'm just. Just relaxing today. Trying to decide if I want to watch some more TV or not. Yeah. Trying to decide if I want to watch more TV or whatever. Yeah. That is a very real danger here. I am quite relaxed. That's why I had to put the gecko back, because he could get lost if I fall asleep while he's out. Or if I get drowsy while he's out, he could get lost. And granted, usually they just show up a few days later because they're hungry or thirsty. But sometimes it takes a few months. Sometimes they never show up. Or you find him dead. And I am not risking that, little dude. He is very important. He deserves all the spoiling in the world. No, I forgot to put his tube back with him. This is his sturdy tube here. I have to put it back with him in a bit. But I think I'm actually going to get going now. So, I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Okay, why is this not working?